Caribbean Life TV. We're bringing you the best of what's hot, Caribbean style, right here in the ATL. What's up, International Steven?
Yo, Cherrie.
Hey,
Wagwan. What's
I'm
happening?
good.
Yeah?
I'm blessed. How are you?
Same. I'm blessed. I'm healthy, safe. Just staying home during this time. So I'm actually getting ready to start prepping dinner. So yeah. What's
So
up? What's going
International
on?
Steven can cook too? You can cook too?
Yeah.
Say what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Your mother raised you right.
Of course. Of course. So making
Big
a
up.
soup
So
today.
where are you hailing from right now?
I currently reside in St. Lucia.
You reside in St. Lucia.
Yeah, I've been here for about 4 years.
Seriously?
hmm
I remember the days that you used to live right here in Atlanta, man. Wow.
Yeah. I got married and moved to St. Lucia with my beautiful wife. So, it's been
Shout
good.
out to Miss International Steven.
Big C,
Mrs.
big C. Yeah, man.
She's there. Make her say hi now.
No. She stepped
No.
out to come back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she
Wicked,
stepped to
wicked.
come back. Yeah. So what's going
Well,
on?
Steven, yeah, man, we're good, man. We're just hanging in the quarantine.
Right.
Doing our thing. Thanks for letting Caribbean Life TV get a little taste of what's going on with International Steven today,
Yeah,
boy.
Caribbean Life TV's family. So, we got to make sure that, what's happening, we keep them in the know. All right?
That's right. That's right. Now,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know that for the few people that might not know the background of
hmm
International Steven, of DJ Steven,
Hmm.
from the times that you used to just go by DJ, then you promoted to international. Tell
Yeah.
us, I watched that documentary last night, and I'm like, boy,
Yeah.
I learned so much. I learned
Wow.
so much, guys. You gotta go to
Crazy.
his website.
Yeah. Okay, so me, a little bit about me, everybody. I was born in Trinidad and Tobago. And migrated to the States when I was about 10, about 9, 10. And we migrated to New York, obviously, my mom, my sister and I, my two little sisters at the time. And we ended up moving to Georgia when I was about 16 to Atlanta.
Mhm.
So I graduated high school in Atlanta, and that's when I picked up the DJ thing serious. My dad was an old school DJ back in Trinidad, so it's always been in me. I always wanted to be like dad. See him coming home at nights with the record crates, and in the middle of the living room we had a big turntable set. So I always had that in me. I have pictures when I was a kid with a mic in my hand and always trying and playing around with it. So in Atlanta, just while in high school, I was so bored and upset, missing all my friends in New York and all the action. My mom got me enrolled in Ibis International. So shout out to Ibis. He's one of the pioneers in soca music in Atlanta, still till this day. Um, and he had all the equipment and everything, and he just gave me an opportunity to just be around, learn, play. And one thing led to the next. Within a short space of time, I was probably one of the most sought after DJs in the Caribbean scene in Atlanta. And evolving from that, I graduated high school. I chose to go into DJing full time a couple years after that, and just try to make it a business. And of course, the natural progression or transitions are either you become a promoter, a producer, you know, a lot of these different things, or an artist. And I can safely say I dabble into all of those arenas, all of those areas, from trying to evolve as a DJ. I started touring a lot, as soon as I was able to. I started going all different countries all around the world, and I started becoming this guy that people look to come for the first time as one of the popular names, as one of the international DJs. If Steven goes there for the first time, then all right, there's potential for a scene. Um, and one thing led to the next. I felt like traveling to all these countries. The name International Steven actually came from that. A lot of people would call me International DJ, International Steven. It was actually people were saying it for years. Just calling me International Steven. And one day I just said, you know what, let me do a little rebrand. And Spider, my business partner Spider, and I, we decided, all right, we'll do the International Steven, and we did it, and that's how the name came about. So we just dropped DJ in the middle of it. Um, we still use it when I'm speaking loosely, you know what I mean? But if you look at all my branding, it's just International Steven. So with all my travels, what I would notice is that, yo, these people around the world, they show so much love, you know? And, you know, I started developing different family type relationships all around the world, like from Japan, you know, even in Australia, so many different places. I started developing these relationships with people, and it was so much love. So I always wanted to kind of show that to other people, like, yo, you guys have no idea on the other side of the pond how these people react and how the kind of love they have for one, not just me, but the culture, the Caribbean culture. And so I said, you know what, I want to do a documentary one day. And I ended up doing a birthday tour as another little avenue. I've always been very innovative in how I market myself, how I brand myself, you know, and I did a birthday tour. January is my birthday time, and it's always the slowest time for a DJ. No one has money after December for Christmas.
After Christmas and New Year's.
So January, what to do in January? I rarely get any gigs. So I was like, you know what? You know, some of these places that's been requesting me, you know, and I haven't been able to find a spot in the calendar for them. Let me create my own event in these countries. So I started putting on my own birthday tour in multiple cities. Yeah, so I said, you know what, I'm going to document this as well. So since I'm investing in it. And that's where my documentary came from. It's called International Love Documentary. And we went to 7 cities. So we did Paris, Amsterdam, Toronto, Atlanta, of course. Where else, boy? Then we had a couple other cities in there. Miami, started in Miami. Anyway, a couple others. And you know, we documented all of it, and it shows just exactly what I'm explaining, you know, the love from all the different cities and everything like that. So I definitely wanted to show everybody, you know, that vibe. That people, how they receive me around the world.
Exactly. And it was hard to figure out which city was like loving you the most, because it was like every city you go to, you're like, yo, Holland is the wickedest place. Yo, London shows me the most love. Yo, Grenada. Like, I was like, okay, everywhere love. You inspire the vibes.
Yeah, it's insane because, and this is why I wanted to put it in the documentary, you know. As I say, I have developed families in these places. So I have a mom in each one. You know, she's like I'm like my Holland mom. You know, shout out to Dutch Soca lovers. So every time I go there, you know, she's like a sister to me, really. But you know, she treats me like a mom, and you know, everyone is like brother and sister there. So they treat me the same way. London, same thing. Grenada, same thing. You know, like I touched down in some of these places, and from the immigration officer, you know, they treat me like his family. Hey, welcome home, boy. You would swear I'm from these places. I swear, it's the craziest thing.
They have LinkedIn.
Yeah,
but he just slide through, just link international even. No, joke.
Yeah. So, Spider just reminded me, London. Yeah, London was one of the cities I forgot to call on the tour. So yeah, man, you know, the documentary, there was so many challenges with it as well, and because you know, obviously you're taking a full team on the road. You know, to cover, you're talking about a full camera team. I mean, I'm grateful to have my business partner, Spider, of course, because it makes a lot of things easy with, you know, just the behind the scenes structure of some of these things that happen. You know, it's not easy. And I had Kellan Sammy from Rev Caribbean. He's really, really dope. He's one of our main camera guys. And I also had Lovely. She's my project manager for our company. So she was on the tour as well in all the cities, you know. So we had a team of 4 going to all the cities, and we were documenting everything, you know.
Wow.
It's really, really crazy.
Man. So do you do your birthday tour every year? It's an annual thing?
Yeah, it's actually become an annual thing, you know. This year we did, what did we do this year, boy? What's the birthday tour cities we did this year? Spider, what birthday tour cities we did? Yeah, I sometimes I add on different cities, you know, and or sometimes I switch it up. Just depends, because I can't do everywhere in a month. You know what I mean? But sometimes we do, you know, 6 cities, 7 cities, you know. But yeah, I think the most I've done for birthday tour has been 10 cities in the month of January.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a lot, and we actually have enough footage from a follow up from that documentary is from 2018. We went back on the road 2019, and we actually have enough footage to release a whole another level to that series, another series.
Oh, see, Spider, they're saying
another
Oslo,
chapter.
he's saying Dubai.
Yeah,
He went to Dubai.
Yeah.
Where's Oslo? I've not heard of
Norway.
Oslo.
It's in Norway.
Oh, I'm
Capital of
sorry.
Norway.
I guess I just showed my. Sorry. Okay. Chicago.
Yeah.
Spider says, okay, Spider, thank you for helping me.
Yeah, he
Helping
knows.
us
He knows.
pivot.
He knows. He knows all the stuff. He knows all the stuff. You know, everybody knows that's my right hand. That's my business part, my main business partner with a lot of the things, a lot of the projects. So, you know, big up Spider.
Definitely. Good right hand person to have because Spider's right hand has a camera attached to it. So he will always be documenting you.
Yeah, he's
Wicked.
troublesome, but I love him. You know?
So what has married life been for you? When did you get married? Just like last year or so?
I got married in 2018 of October. She just came home actually. She said, "Come say hi, babe, on my live. Come say hi."
She said she's not
This is
ready.
my
She know
wife.
what? Hey, beautiful. I love how you're repping the red, green, and gold right there, man.
She loves
Yes,
repping the red
coordination.
She can't hear. I have my pods in my ear.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
amazing, amazing. And St.
Yeah.
Lucia, I mean, how is that? I mean, I've never been to St. Lucia. You're from Trinidad and then grew up in Atlanta, so what's that
It's
experience
beautiful.
like?
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's just the one word I can use to describe it. Beautiful place. Beautiful people. You know, good vibes. For sure.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. So for those of you who don't know, DJ Steven, when I first met DJ Steven, he and I were co-hosts on Caribbean Focus
Oh
TV.
yes.
This was
Yes,
my
yes, yes.
co-host.
Wow. See, the grind
I
goes
was
way
his
back.
yes,
I was in the
yes,
TV from
yes.
back then.
That's right, yo. So it was like at that time you were already into you DJing and everything, and then you dabbled in broadcasting a little bit. So don't forsake that. Yes, you did artistry,
Yeah, yeah.
DJ, all producing, but you also dabbled in being a journalist.
Yeah. It's true, true, true. I was a journalist for a little short space of time. Cool. So that, yeah, we can add that on there.
Yes,
On the resume,
yes.
for sure.
News anchor, all of that. Man, I wish I could pull some of that footage. You used to be at all the events with your microphone in hand. Hello, everybody. This is DJ
Wow.
Steven. We're right here at the Jerk Festival in Atlanta, interviewing the artists. Stop playing, yo. You know you did that.
I can't even remember most of it, but I knew it happened.
I
I knew it
know.
happened.
There's so much life that's happened since then. I
Yeah,
see
yeah.
Zaid, AZI, he has actually asked where he can watch the documentary again. Just shout out where that documentary is.
Yeah, it's actually on my website. I type it in. You can go to my website. It's on in about 6 different countries. You can view it on Apple, iTunes, or Amazon Prime, or you could just view it on my website, internationalsteven.com. So I'm gonna type it in here. Yeah, you
Oh
can go to
yeah,
my website and you can view it on there as well. So pretty dope. Pretty dope.
definitely.
Yeah.
So every year you have your birthday tour, and it was funny because I heard you in your documentary, you referred to it as a tornado. When did you come up with that term?
Tornado? I said that?
Yeah, you said that. You were like, yeah, whenever I do one of these tornadoes,
Oh man, I
I
can't
was like,
remember. I can't
oh,
remember.
wow, that's a good term for it because you're just in a whirlwind
I can't
around the
remember,
world.
man. I'm sure it had a reason behind it, but I really can't remember at this moment calling it that. Crazy. But you know, it's crazy because, you know, getting to experience all this different diversity in 1 month, you know, it's amazing.
Hmm.
You know, people from all walks of life, you know, and they show you the same kind of love and they respond the same way to you. You know, I could leave here tonight and be in another country tomorrow, on another continent tomorrow, and you know, they treat me the same. You know, it's an amazing feeling. Very grateful for it.
So what is it like bringing soca to all these different countries? Some of the countries that you mentioned, I thought that they were going to not
Oh,
be as
here's Spider.
familiar.
Here's Spider explaining this for me. Oh, he's reminding me. Oh, the tornado that I got the crowd to do. That's what he's saying here.
Oh, that's
The
what, is
spin in
that
a
a dance?
circle. Yeah, so we create this dance where you part the crowd, you know, you have everybody standing around and in a circle, and then you get them to spin
Mhm.
around like a tornado. So they'll spin around me. So I think there's a clip of that in the documentary as well. That's what he's mentioning.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I saw you guys doing like a dance where you had one leg up and you were spinning around and said, "Watch Steven a dance, no man. Wait." So not only is he a DJ, producer, artist,
No,
journalist,
no, no, not a
broadcaster, he's a
dancer, not a
dancer
dancer.
too.
Spider's the dancer.
Yes.
Spider's the dancer, not me. Not me.
Why does
Spider's
it?
the dancer. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Wow. So would you say you've been to like all of the Caribbean islands, or is there a particular island or you know what country in the world that you still would like to bring some vibes to?
Um, I wouldn't say I've DJed in all the Caribbean islands. There's still a lot of them where I haven't touched. The main ones that we hear in a call out in a Soca Fete. Yeah, I would say I've played at those. But there are so many little islands that, have their own vibe going on that I haven't been able to touch as yet. But, you know, looking forward to it. The other day we took a trip to Statia, St. Eustatius, and it was amazing. Their population was, I think, 3,500 people, the population of the entire island. So that was an amazing vibe. Spider was with me as well, and my wife. See, really nice experience.
Station.
Mm-hmm. Check
Where's
it out.
Stacia?
Statia
Where's
is it's a Dutch Caribbean island. It's very close
Okay.
to Saint Martin. That's the closest I can say it to.
Okay.
So you take a
Okay.
flight to Saint Martin and then you will get on a smaller airline or aircraft and fly over to Statia. Yeah.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, I know St. Martin, St. Martin,
Yeah, yeah.
and but I didn't know about Stacia. Oh my gosh, see, I'm learning so much. You're
Small,
definitely our
small.
international Steve because you're teaching me new locations today. I'm like, yo,
For sure, for
I
sure.
feel uneducated. No,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
wow, wow. So what's coming up for I see I want to call you DJ Steven. What's coming up for international, Steven?
Well,
What
recently, projects you
yeah.
mean, or just
Between
general?
projects and I would say locations, but I don't know if your locations are kind of iffy right now based on what's going on or
Yeah.
not. I don't know.
Okay, so yeah, first of all, there's a couple other documentaries, that I've done. I've been documenting some of my travels for years, so I have a lot of lower quality documentaries on YouTube as well. You guys can look up. You would search DJ Steven Travels, whatever. There's an Africa documentary. I went to Africa in 2017. That was pretty dope. I did
Africa.
a selfie
Wow.
video documentary. I did it with my phone. Um, that was amazing. I see one of my boys mentioned that here in the group on the chat. There's also a Japan documentary, I think a Germany documentary, and a Dubai documentary. So be sure to check all of those out as well on YouTube. Um, Up next for me, Spider and I recently launched an agency. It's called DSM, the agency. It's our latest project. DSM stands for Development Services and Management. Just by doing a lot of the things and going a lot of the places that we've been going, we're realizing that there's a void. There's a lot of people that don't have knowledge of the industry, a lot of artists that don't have a platform, and all these things. So we decided to create this in a nutshell, create this agency, and just to kind of make it into like a Caribbean hub. So you have tons of artists that don't necessarily have a representation anywhere or don't know how. So we've been doing workshops as well with some of the different islands. We're hoping to do a lot more. We've done our first virtual workshop last week online, and we have another one tomorrow. These are development workshops, branding workshops, that can help anyone that is interested in being just better their brand or become a brand. So that's all under the same umbrella as the agency. It's also a bookings
Yeah.
agency. The website is dsmtheagency.com. We're also getting ready to, well, we're going and then we're also getting aspect of the agency as well. So, you want to distribute your music online, get it into the major stores, the Spotify's, the Tidal, Apple Music, all of that. We're going to have the digital distribution aspect set up pretty soon. Anyone that's interested, your talent, Caribbean talent, no matter where you live or where you're from, you want to get listed on the agency, you could definitely hit us up. There's a request form on the website. So, we'll be able to get your profile information and have you listed. So that's one of the big projects I'm working on. We
And so
recently
right
launched.
now, the talent you have on there is Giselle, the Wasi one.
Yeah, we have Wasi. We have so many people on there. We have I believe, over 60 profiles already, and
Really?
so much more to load. Yeah.
Okay, whoa. Because I saw Giselle's profile. It was looking so nice. She was there with her little innocent look. I was like, Giselle looks so innocent, and she can get on so bad. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, we have so many people on there. We have Ecool. We have some Afrobeats entertainers on there as well. We
Yeah.
have Verse Simmons. He's from the Virgin
Mm.
Islands. We have tons of DJs, and a lot more to load up. We have a lot of the top industry professionals on there, and so much more that's just impending for Spider to load.
Well, I'm sure Spider's on it. He's definitely on
Mhm.
it. Wicked, wicked. Okay,
Yeah.
so you have the agency and anything else that and you have more documentaries that you're
Well,
loading onto internationalsteven.com, right?
well, yeah. So, I'm into the film a lot more now. Um,
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it's not as developed as the music um, area, for Caribbean people. So it's still a new lane and a developing platform, but I'm really into it. There's tons to learn, and not much examples to follow in the Caribbean lane. So, it's just paying attention. And every time I watch a movie, my wife could tell you I'm always, pointing out stuff that I see that they're doing that's creative, or, making comparisons to this movie or to that movie. So just learning for now. So I believe that, there's some more film stuff to come from us pretty soon. Um,
Mhm.
I
Wow.
also I also
But
manage,
you're an actor now?
not
Let's add
necessarily for me acting in it, but as director.
okay.
Yeah, so I'm looking into the film thing pretty heavy. I also manage a young artist from Grenada, Vaughn. He's been
Vaughn,
a
yes,
project for the
yes.
last 2 years, and that's been really exciting. This kid is a phenomenon, super talented. We've been able to do so many things and achieve so much in this short space of time. So that's pretty exciting as a project for me as well. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Because
yeah.
even I was playing one of the rhythms on one of the songs from Vaughn. I think it's Watch Mess. I was
Hmm.
playing that as an intro part. I'll play it
Yeah.
on our outro as well.
Yeah.
That song is wicked, yo. That
Yeah,
song wicked, but
it's so crazy. I have about, I say I have over 100 demos, in my laptop from Vaughn, just sitting there with, just trying to figure out what to do next. Because
wow.
it's very limiting when you don't have a lane, or you don't have connects to the mainstream, um, that mainstream platform. For us, it's his talent goes beyond just soca or just dancehall.
Hmm.
He's an excellent writer, and he's super dope with R&B, Afro beats, pop.
Hmm.
He has that talent range, and it's a bit
Hmm.
frustrating when you don't really have the access to get him the visibility on that mainstream platform. But we're trying, we're working. Not so every day we're doing something new. Last night we released a new video that was directed by myself and Spider and Delay from CMG Studios. It's called Stand Innovation. Actually, Caribbean Live TV was there. Yeah, they were there at the
Oh,
shoot.
oh,
The
oh.
staff was there,
Shout out to
man.
the
You was
team.
missing out. You was missing out.
Shout out to the team. We got a big team, man. We
Yeah,
got like tentacles in everything. So
yeah, yeah. So we released it last night. The video is less than 24 hours up. We already have over 1,000 views and counting, so it's doing really well. Yeah, really good feedback and really good comments. So everybody check it out. You can head to YouTube to Vaughn TV, VGHN TV, and
mhm.
check out the video. It's called Stand Innovation. That's from his recent EP, and we got more to come. So much more to come. I see here they're dropping
Definitely.
in a lot of little notes about my productions.
Yeah, the boss man, Lawrence Prescott, wants to know what it was like producing the Caution Rhythm.
Hmm. So as a producer, for me, as I say, from a DJ standpoint, you want to know what's next, and the natural evolution is either you become an artist, a producer, a promoter,
Mhm.
right? So for me, I kind of dabble into all the areas, and production, I would say I've always had an ear for music in terms of I can call a hit, or I can hear something that's off, and I could pretty much always tell you what to fix, where to put it. So I'm more of an A&R. On the production side, though, I partnered up with a couple different people. My first big production, I would say, was Family. Um, That was probably my most successful production to date.
Which
My
song
friend.
is that? When you say
Family, le,
family,
le, 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 le,
that
le,
one
le, le.
you have produced that one?
Yeah, that's one
You
of my
never
classics.
knew. That song bust the place. What you mean?
Yeah, for
Wow,
sure, for sure,
wow,
for sure.
wicked.
The big tune. And from that, I just kept going, kept linking up with different producers, and we were just collaborating with different ideas and different beats. And the Caution Rhythm is probably my next biggest success. Released that one for St. Lucia Carnival. I worked together with a producer local here to St. Lucia, Vibes Production, Miguel Joseph. And it was a really, really dope vibe, man. I knew it from the first time I heard parts of that rhythm, it was gonna be big. And I started obviously working. We made a couple changes from my first point of hearing it, and then I started just sending it out to the artists that I have good relationships with, and I knew that they would get it done in a timely manner for me. And I'd say the rest was history after that, to be honest. It wasn't too much work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'm very
Yeah,
grateful for the
multi.
success of that rhythm. Is one of the top rhythms for Trinidad Carnival. So after St.
Mm-hmm.
Lucia, it started to build. It wasn't that big in St. Lucia for Carnival last year. We released kind of late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My wife thought it came out late.
Okay.
Yeah, because it came out late, I released it like the week before Carnival. So I didn't have enough time to really push it and get it into people's system. But some of the
When it
DJs
came
still
to
showed it a lot of love.
Carnival.
It's in July. It was July last year.
Okay,
So
okay.
after that, I started doing a lot of promotions and the other carnivals with it. So Grenada, we did some push there on a lot of the radio stations and stuff. Got it to all the DJs. Then we went into New York, Labor Day, Miami, and by the time Miami was already huge. So after Miami, a lot of the DJs from Trinidad, they take the big songs from Miami Carnival, so that starts off the season in Trinidad. They use that as what we're playing now until the new music comes out. So we're very fortunate for the Caution Rhythm to be big from that period and then last all the way through Trinidad Carnival. Yeah,
Right,
and still going.
right.
Yeah,
Still going, still
yeah,
setting the pace.
yeah.
Wicked. I see a little shout out from Vanity said that they want a sound clash. A
Sound clash.
sound clash. You do sound clashes?
I
You know
I
clash. You
I used
clash?
to clash. I won a couple of awards. I won a couple of sound clashes back in the day, but I retired. My wife beat me in a sound clash at our wedding, and that was it for me.
You did one for one or something?
Yeah, we did tune for tune. We actually
Two
have
for
a wedding
two.
documentary on YouTube as well. You guys could check that out. Royal Caribbean Wedding. It's pretty fun too.
Where they search? They search Royal Caribbean Wedding or should they search for your
Yeah,
channel?
they could search Royal Caribbean Wedding on YouTube, and it'll come up,
Hmm.
and you could see me. That was the murdering at the last sound clash I'll ever do probably. See, Spider, Spider, you didn't have to come on, elaborate on it, Spider. Really? So much she murdered you. That was it for me.
What?
Shout out to all the
See that?
DJs who actually like it and they enjoy the sound clash. But I haven't, to be honest with you, I haven't kept up with, the dub plates and I've been focusing so much more of my time and energy on the developing the back end of the industry that I haven't really
Hmm.
kept up with my music. I'll be honest with you. And
Okay.
just for a lack of time, not because I don't enjoy it or I don't like it anymore, but I see that, I have an opportunity to help so much more people. So I've been working on developing, these platforms and all of that, really focusing my time and energy. But Rigo and I clashed when he was Pantrin Vibes already. For guys who don't know, back in Houston days. But we leave that
Oh,
alone.
oh.
Leave that
I was
alone.
gonna say, so
Them,
was
them
it
times
love?
there, them times there, I was still bad. I didn't meet my wife
You
as
still
yet.
got what you
I didn't meet my
mean?
wife as yet, and I didn't get
So you,
murdered as yet.
that's good. Iron sharpens iron, so that means she's a good inspiration for you. Just
Absolutely,
keep
yeah,
sharp, man.
yeah. We sound clash at home too. We had a sound clash the other day. We had a quarantine sound clash, and
Oh Lord,
leave it up to her. She
you
would
need to
say
put
she
those
won,
things
but
on your life.
it was. We had it up on the stories. Yeah, we put it up on our
Is
stories. Yeah, we put it on our
okay,
stories at
okay.
the time. Yeah,
We
you
want a
you won.
rematch. We want things
She
again.
thinks she won, but you know, you just, happy wife, happy life. So, baby, if you think you won, baby. Yeah.
He's doing so well already. Whoa.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, I just
So
been.
some
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Yeah, I just been on with the production thing. I've been focusing on just kind of trying to get some fresh sounds and fresh ideas and bring it to the table and you know, just to kind of get a little different feel to things. If you look at the productions that I kind of dabble in, um,
Mhm.
you would hear that the difference from the soca that you're used to. The production
Mhm.
of Family that was infused with bouillon. The guy I worked with on that, the main producer on it was Dada Lawrence from Dominica, right?
Infused what? What was that word you said?
Bouillon music.
What
Yeah,
bouillon?
it's a type of music from Dominica. Well, I say it's from the Creole Islands, with a heavy French influence, heavy
Bouillon.
bass line. Yeah, look it up. Bouillon, Bouyon, right? That's right. Bouyon. Oh
B-O-U-Y-O-N.
yeah,
B-O-U-Y-O-N. Bouillon. Okay, I see AZ.
yeah,
I put this in there. Thank you.
yeah. So you would hear that influence heavy in it. There was a lot of pushback as well from the Trinis. They felt that it wasn't soca and it shouldn't have won Road March and all of that stuff because of the sound of it. And of course, the Dominicans, they stepped up and tried to make their claim to it. Hey, this is bouillon music. It's not soca. But to be honest with you, there's only a little bit of things that separate the music. They all are driven by the same drums.
Right.
I would say. But yeah.
Because even
So
Afrobeat and soca are almost kind of meshing right now. It's
I'd be honest
I
with
find
you.
it
For me, one of the things that separate genres in
mm,
today's age or today's time is who's on
mm.
it.
Who's on it?
Yeah.
What
What
you
type of
mean? Which
artist are you
artist?
classified as? If you put an African on a soca beat, right, and you put it
Mm,
out, really and truly, Africans are gonna recognize it as Afrobeat. If you put Marshall Montano on an Afrobeat rhythm,
mm.
unless it was produced by an African or has an African artist featured on it, most people are gonna say it's soca because you're putting a soca artist on it. So that's my
Okay.
opinion on it. You know what I mean? Because you try to really look at what's the differentiating things. What makes soca soca and what makes Afrobeat Afrobeat, and they sound so
Hmm.
similar. Similar drum
Right.
kits, similar instruments, similar sound. What makes it different? To me, depends on who's involved in it in the project. You know,
Okay. Okay.
that's just
Okay.
my opinion. My opinion.
Makes sense. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
for sure.
All right. And then you have your power soca and
Yeah.
everything. These are things I try to educate um non-Caribbean people. They're like,
Mhm.
what is they sound different. I'm like, yeah, there's
Well, the difference
soca.
between groovy soca and power soca is just the BPM, the beats per minute. Power
Okay.
soca is anything over 145 BPM. So between 145 to 170. All right. And the groovy soca would be between 100 or even some a little slower, 98 BPM, 95 BPM sometimes, all the way up to 145. So that's how you classify the difference in the speed.
I mean, so how does like a listener figure out what the BPM is? Like, I don't
Well,
know
it's
if I'm not sitting there with like
beats
a
per
timer.
minute.
Like,
So
it's just
beats
the
per minute is
BPM. Okay.
obviously the beats per minute. Power soca would obviously be faster. So you hear a song like it's faster. So if you actually tap in on the beat, you would tap 160 beats in 60 seconds.
Okay.
You never knew that, huh?
No, I never tried it
Yeah.
out. Okay.
It's like
Okay.
clicks. Yeah.
Wicked,
So
wicked. Okay.
I see
Man, you're teaching
red
me so
ATM.
much.
I'm getting so much questions in your group here, on the
I
chat here.
know, bro.
Let me see.
He
Red
want Red
ATM.
ATM wants to know if you have any Afrobeat productions.
Red ATM is actually my real blood baby brother. That's Marquise. That's Prince Marquise. So
Oh, is
shout out
that you?
that's my baby brother, Red ATM.
That's Marquise. Okay, wicked Marquise. I've seen him DJing in Atlanta. He lives in Atlanta, right?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I've seen him
Um,
DJing, especially last summer.
Afrobeat Productions. I have a couple of projects that's unreleased. That's Afrobeats actually. So yeah. Um, and a couple of the projects that we're working on with Vaughn, I'm executive producer on the projects as well. So and there's most of those are Afrobeats as well. So yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay. So we have yet to release them then. So there's so much more content that you have that's coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah, there's so many different things. I'm working on a new rhythm to release. This was gonna be my main release for St. Lucia Carnival this year. It's called a Midnight Moon Rhythm. I'm working on that currently. Which obviously with the times now it's a little bit difficult to get these artists to record, but And
Is
then,
it difficult because they're not out performing at
well,
events?
the problem is not every artist have a studio in their home to voice
Okay,
a recording, a proper quality recording. So,
got
yeah.
it. Okay,
Yeah, man. But
okay.
we have things there. We have things. We're working on things. But
So
I have to
many.
do stuff for Lucia because my wife, she runs a carnival band here, and she does
Really?
events here
Which
as
one?
well.
Which
So
one?
Legends Carnival Band.
Legends. I've
Mm,
seen a lot of them on from Legends on Instagram.
on Instagram, yeah.
I didn't know that was her baby. Wow.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
She's one of the directors of Legends. So I always have to
I
make
see
sure I do
boss.
some sort of contribution musically, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wicked, wicked. I said the boss man keep putting in here. He said, "Watch your time, Cherry. Watch your time. Watch your time." Yes, sir. Aye, aye, Captain. Okay, I'm watching the time, Captain.
Cool.
Um, but yes, man. So I guess is there anything mainly that you would want everybody to know for those that, may be very familiar, your loyal fans, as well as people that are not as familiar? Anything that you're like, hey, look, this is what you guys need to know and need to log on and keep following my path
Well,
here.
yeah,
What would
the new wave of projects that we're taking on, I would like people to really, really kind of, just pay attention to it. These workshops, like for example, this workshop we're doing tomorrow, this virtual workshop. I urge
okay.
anyone that's interested in building a brand and, bettering your brand or even thinking of starting a new brand, to register for this workshop because, there's so many little things that you can learn in these workshops that can really, really help you. These little strategies help. Even sometimes I learn things in these workshops. It's the one tomorrow. I have a couple different panelists. We have Jaga TC from Trinidad. He's a radio announcer. He's one of the guys that started Soca Star, which is like an American Idol in Trinidad, and that produced some of the artists that you know today, like Voice, Preety, Second Star. Some of these big names, they came from that competition. So we have him. We have DJ Private Ryan, world famous. Mr. Soca Brainwash. He's one of the panelists. Of course, myself, Spider. And we also have Calbert Francis from English Harbor Rum. He also is the owner of Granny Annie's Pepper Sauce. So he's been very, very instrumental in building a lot of brands and he has a lot of knowledge to share. So the workshop is tomorrow at 6 p.m. So a 2 hour workshop. I urge everybody log on to the DSM agency website and register. There's a lot to learn. We had one
There
last
are a lot.
Thursday and there's so many people that just kept hitting us up like, man, we see that the workshop happened and we missed out. So we decided to do it again. And we only have a few more spots. So try to just type the website there. You can register. So when you go to dsmtheagency.com, you hit the drop down menu and you click
Mhm.
on register for workshop, and it'll take you to the link where you can register. It's $10, but $10
Oh,
is a small
oh,
amount to
yes,
invest into
oh,
your
that's
brand.
affordable. We can do
Yeah,
that. We
yeah,
can
yeah,
do that.
for sure, for sure. So check
Thought you
that
were gonna
out.
say $750.
Nah, 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 nah.
Wicked.
It's just a 2 hour workshop, but for me, what personally, I feel like to the industry that I'm in, soca mainly, or Caribbean music industry, I feel like what we're lacking to take our industry to the next level is knowledge. I feel like a lot of people just know basic things. Like we might be using Instagram, but we don't necessarily know how to correctly use a hashtag. And these are some of the things that we go through in the workshops and we try to teach people. You might be doing something and you might have a vague idea of what this is for, but using it effectively is another thing you know so we cover things like that, and we talk about from a physical branding aspect, how you could be effective. Some people think, hey, let me just print my logo on my t-shirt. It's a lot more than that.
Mhm.
It's a lot of different things that we cover. So I urge everyone, check out the workshop, man. For those of you who's taken part in one of our workshops before, you could drop some comments and let the viewers know, what you think and if they should join, for sure.
Testimonials, testimonials.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
should they put the testimonials? You have a page for it, or just put it on your page, International Steven?
That question is for Spider.
Oh, Spider. Where
Yeah.
should they put the testimonial? Oh, someone said they just registered. Wait, what?
So yeah,
Yo,
yeah. We still gotta.
wicked.
We're not packing out the classes too much. So we're keeping the spaces limited. So we still have a few spots left. So I urge you guys to go ahead and just It's knowledge, and we, as we know, knowledge is power. Look, somebody just put knowledge is power. So it's
Wow.
true. Knowledge is power.
Simultaneously.
So
Okay.
it's good for you to. I promise you won't regret it. There's a lot of things we cover, and then you get to hear that the insight from successful brand builders, people with successful brands like Private Ryan. You know,
Mm.
a lot of DJs, always ask, and they always want to know, how do I get my name, or how do I get to travel, and how do I build my brand so big? Hey, here's the opportunity to hear it firsthand. So
That is one topic that they did touch on in your documentary,
mhm,
where people, I don't remember which artist it was, but they were saying how a lot of DJs get comfortable with where they are in the industry and just kind
mhm,
of settle into their own little niche, so to speak. But
mhm,
one thing about you is you always push the envelope
yeah,
and reach outside of the box, the comfort
yeah,
zone, and try new things. And
yeah.
that myself, I was wondering, I was like, wait, he was right by my side. We were co-hosts, and now he's international, Stephen. How the hell did this happen?
Well,
But that's
for
why.
me, I'm
That's
I'm a
why.
creative thinker, so I always think of what's the next move. I always try to think 10 steps ahead. Anybody that knows me and spends time with me personally could tell you I'm always trying to find what's the next move, and not in a sense of just being a hustler, but how do we make sure that we're making the right steps right now? We're walking in the right direction to end up at the right spot, So I always try to, okay, all right, right now we're here with soca music. 10 years from now, if we keep evolving at this pace that we're evolving, then we'll only reach here. So what do we need to do as an industry to get to this level where they can compare us to hip hop or compare us to EDM? You know what I mean? And for me, this is why we're developing things like the DSM agency and doing these workshops, because if you can, educate the masses, you get everyone, majority across the board to be thinking on a higher level and doing a certain quality of things, then you could compare us now holistically,
Mhm.
because you're comparing the majority. You could compare us to an industry like hip hop or an industry like the EDM markets. And, once you get people to build their professionalism to a certain type of level, then prices can raise. You can charge more money. You understand?
Okay.
So,
Yes, sir.
you know, yeah,
Yes, man. Definitely. Wow. A
that's
lot of
that.
people have registered right now while you've been on the live. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on here on Caribbean Life TV, Stephen. Wow. Your website, go ahead and say your website because this is where your
Um,
documentary is.
yeah, you can check my website from you can check my personal website for the documentary, which is www.internationalsteven with a PHEN.com, just like my name here. You can view the
Mm.
documentary there, or, it's also available on Amazon Prime. So you can search International Love Documentary, type in all three words on Amazon Prime, and iTunes, but it's only available in 6 countries. So if it's not available in your country, you can also view it from my website. All right.
Wicked. And follow International Stephen on Instagram.
Yeah. Follow International Steven on Instagram. We're actually, Spider and I actually considering doing some brand adjustment pretty soon. So we might be switching it up. So go ahead and follow it now.
Okay.
And then also follow the DSM, the agency page on Instagram. That's
Okay.
DSM THE agency. Follow that page. What else? Wait. Follow my wife, Z underscore MC, Big Z.
Say hers again. I didn't hear it
Z
proper.
Z underscore MC. Z Mac.
CZ
Yeah.
underscore
I'll
MC.
I'll type it in.
Okay. The letters kind of rhyme, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well,
CZ.
she's a brand too, I'm working on the brand. Her brand is Big Z.
Big Z. All right.
So
Wicked,
yeah, for
wicked.
sure.
And you can watch the wedding on YouTube. Yo, I saw that video too. I mean, it was so beautiful. I was like, oh
Thank
my
you.
God, my
Thank
wedding
you.
to look like that.
We had so much fun doing it, like everything we did there was just, our personalities combined, and we had a lot of fun creating that. So it was dope. It wasn't
So
a lot of work. It was more or
okay.
less fun. Yeah.
Wicked, wicked. All right. Any shout outs? Any people you want to heal up real quick?
Um, Shout out my business partner, Spider-Man X, you know,
Yeah.
um, all the projects. Shout out to, of course, big up my wife, big up, all my friends, family, supporters, everybody that supports everything that I put out. There's a handful of people that, every single thing that I post and I put out or I send out, that handful of people are there. They're following it. They're supporting it. They're rooting and cheering for me. I really appreciate you guys. Everybody else that support anything that I do, even if it's just a one-time support, I appreciate that too. Um, yeah, and of course, big up to Caribbean Life TV. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Big up to you,
CLTV.
Cherrie. Big up to you.
Hey!
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Thank you
man.
for letting me do the interview, Stephen.
No
It's been
problem.
so
No
many
problem.
years.
Yeah, man.
It's felt
For
like
sure.
back then happening again. This is wicked. This is
For
wicked.
sure.
I'm
For
proud
sure.
of you. I'm
Thanks for
proud of
having me.
you.
I appreciate it.
A
Thank
lot
you
of the
so much.
things that Giselle said right at the end of your documentary, I was like, I resonate with that a
Yeah.
lot.
Thank you so
I
much.
mean,
Thank
we
you
knew
so
you
much.
from DJ Stephen, and you've continued to evolve. So
Thank
we're
you.
proud of
Thank you.
you. Two thumbs
Respect.
up. Two.
Respect. 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 All right. So big up everybody. Thank you guys, and just follow the movement. Yeah.
Definitely, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. There you
Respect.
have it, international Stephen.
Vibes. Vibes. Big up. Big up. Big up. Big up. Respect. All right.
Wicked. Log
Cool.
on tomorrow to his workshop, guys. You guys already know about it. And make sure you keep it locked to Caribbean Life TV. It's your girl, Cherrie Garden. Steven, much love, much love.
Big up. Big. Bless up. Cool. All right.
All right, guys. Have happy quarantining.